I'm Lindsay, and I am such a mess. I am in deep, deep trouble, and I need to concentrate in order to tell you what I have to tell. And I am not at my worst right now. Wait, I need to tell you what my problem is. Well, I have OCD, which is Obsessive Compulsive Disorder. Here, I've told you. I am so ashamed. Thank God it's anonymous. Okay, well, concentrate. I'm 15, and I'm on my way towards happiness, and happiness for me is when those thoughts leave me. Right, I haven't told you what OCD is. Sorry for that. I will tell you what it's about and give you some examples, okay? So, it's actually when you have some thoughts all the time and they don't leave you, and you're afraid that you can make something horrible. And you become so ashamed of yourself that you're trying to prevent things from happening, even if you don't want to do them. It sounds pointless, I know, but I told you I'm a mess. I'm 15 now. Many years ago, I was adopted. I don't like to remember that time, but, well, I think it may be useful for understanding. Anyway, point is that my biological father was in jail, and my biological mother didn't take any care of me at all. I was 5 at the time, and my problem is that I still remember everything. I heard that some people just forget things that are traumatic, but that's not my case. Those recollections have been stalking me forever. But I was adopted soon after, and I adore my parents. I will call them Mom and Dad, if you don't mind. So, they took me home, and everything was finally okay. They brought me to a psychologist to elaborate my trauma, and after all, everyone thought I was over it. Well, yes, I was more or less. However, when I was around 7 years old, I started having that thing. What thing? Well, don't laugh at me, but it went like this. For example, I'm just sitting calmly in my room, and I feel I absolutely need to go and check if I've closed the door to the bathroom. Well, who cares if it's closed? What's the difference? But still, I get up and go there to check. It's closed. I return to the room. I sit down and think, but I haven't checked if it's closed well. I get up and go to check. It's closed well. I return, sit down, and think, am I really sure I've closed it well after checking? And so on for 5 or 6 times. I understand it's stupid, but I feel if I don't do it, something horrible happens. I just can't control myself. Okay, that was when I was 7. Now, I've gone much, much further. Those strange ideas multiplied in my head. I had to check and recheck that I had everything in its place. Everything in order, all the plates in the kitchen arranged by colors, and all my shoes in the closet perfectly aligned. I passed a great deal of every day in strange rituals, making sure everything was fine. But things I had to check were more and more every day. And what's worse, I suddenly started feeling guilt. I understood I was not normal, and as far as I was adopted, I felt bad that my wonderful parents got a freak like me. So I didn't want to tell them I had problems so that they didn't get disappointed with me. As I grew, I had lots of other obsessive thoughts. I wanted to be a perfect daughter for my parents, and I was constantly afraid I would embarrass them somehow. When I was with them in public, I was terrified that at some point I would start shouting obscenities. Why should I, you ask? And why shouldn't I? This can happen to anyone. This is my thought. And I was constantly afraid it was me. I started thinking about it over and over. I try not to think about it, but it's like not thinking about a polar bear. You literally can't think of anything else. There were more fears to that. That I could cut my mom's new dress into pieces, that I could spill coffee all over my dad's laptop, and many, many more. I couldn't study or do anything else. I was just thinking about it all the time. Every time I had such thoughts, that's pretty much all the time, I went to take a shower. It was ritual for me that made me feel like a better person. I have no idea what the connection is, but I was sure that at some point that it was the only thing that kept me from doing that horrible stuff I was thinking about. But the obsession was growing in me like a snowball, and one day when I was 13, I had a breakdown. On Saturday morning, I had some particularly nasty thought of spitting in my mom's coffee, and felt so much guilt that I went into the shower and never got out. I mean, I don't remember much. My parents told me that they saw I was absent in the bathroom for more than an hour. They checked on me, I was not responding, and when they broke down the door, they found me under the shower, scratching my skin obsessively with a sponge, repeating, "I won't do it! I won't do it!" They got scared. Ironically, my mom tells me now that they feel guilt they didn't notice something was wrong with me. She knew I was a bit strange, but she thought it was due to my childhood trauma, and it didn't seem to bother me too much. You bet it didn't. I was controlling myself very well. Anyway, they took me to a psychiatrist immediately. After I calmed down and regained senses, we had a talk. Putting a long story short, I found out what OCD is, got a prescription, and an appointment with a therapist. I'm now controlling it much better, and Mom and Dad are helping me a lot. But I'm still scared of myself. Who knows how it can finish another time. However, now I always tell my parents if I feel something is wrong. Now, my motto is concentration and control.